Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. I am very happy to have Berkshire Hathaway in the house. We had Jim, Deb, and Rob. Welcome to the show.
Good morning and happy
Good to be
fall,
back, Joe.
I'm happy to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
I'll tell you why. A lot of people have asked me. They're like, what is the with the things that have been going on up here in Park City with the purchase of Park City Mountain Resort by Vail. There's a lot of question as to whether this is going to change the real estate market. And I know there were a lot of people who were just worried if it wasn't going to happen.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, either side of this. If nothing happened, if there became a protracted battle, there were so many questions. But now purchase has gone through, so then the question becomes, does that affect home values? So where should we start?
First of all, we're incredibly grateful that the two came to meet.
Certainly.
And that we've resolved it.
Right.
I mean, I think that would have been quite devastating to the community had Park City not opened this year. I think that would have been tough to recover
Indeed.
from.
Yeah, there's a lot of small businesses on Main Street that there's no way that they would have managed that.
Well, there's small businesses, there's the repercussions of people thinking that Park City is closed down, not just Park City Mountain Resort is closed down.
Yeah.
So the good news is Vail now owns both resorts, and in a year or so we're going to have a mega resort as they connect them.
Right, and that has been, for a lot of communities, a boon, right?
That has been a boom.
Yeah, so it could be something very special. To
With that interconnection, I think what we're really going to see is an increase of visitors. And with more people coming here and discovering us, a lot of people will be coming for the first time to check it out.
Wow, so yeah, that could mean something for the number of people moving here too.
There's a lot of marketability with those two resorts being connected there, just like Whistler and Blackcomb, how they can market this giant resort. That's only going to bring more visitors here, and with marketing capabilities of Vail, that's going to bring a lot of new visitors to Park City.
Yeah, well, it's certainly there's no doubt that there's a lot of people that are going to reap benefits of this. I'm sure for people who are coming at the right time, either buying or selling, they could really have something special happen that maybe they weren't planning. That's kind of a neat thing when your property value suddenly increases, right?
Well, the one thing I forgot this morning, and I meant to bring it with me, was my crystal ball.
Yeah.
Because we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't have any idea, because we see maybe buyers are looking into the market to see what their opportunities are. Sellers are maybe holding out for their price a little more, but the long-term effect, we really don't know, Joe. I mean, that's where the whole big question comes in. So we can speculate. There are a lot of people who are now calling that we haven't heard from in a while and say,
that means
geez.
something.
Well, geez, now that Vail's bought two. In fact, I just had a client call me yesterday who hasn't had his property on the market for 2 years and said, I think we're going to hold on for another 2 years and see what happens.
Wow.
So, I mean, I think there's a lot of conjecture out there, and maybe that energy will fuel the market. But
it also might do what it did for this gentleman, where he's like, well, I'm going to hold up.
That's
I'm going to
exactly
wait.
right.
Right?
It's
There's
exactly
a lot
right.
of different reactions are the part that you can't predict.
That is exactly right.
That's the thing. We
and
can
the timing.
Do some with the property value, but
exactly.
we don't, we can assume that that's probably going to climb to some degree, but we can't predict how people are going to react to it.
Right.
That's exactly right.
That's
That's where the whole question mark comes in. And I don't even think we're going to see a change maybe for the next 12 to 18 months. Maybe after this winter season and people explore us, have the great skiing experience, will they be able to make a decision about their real estate purchase?
Okay, so here's the next big question. I know a lot of people, whenever we get you here, this is one of the things that people tell me to ask you. What is hot right now in Park City or in the surrounding area?
Anything under $800,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still the lower price ranges, people wanting to get into town to own a home for under $800,000, as Deb is suggesting there. That's a big deal. That's really a push for people to look for. So when a listing comes on in that price range, it's going to get activity immediately, and maybe it needs some work on it or so forth, but still, depending upon its size and so forth and location, it's going to get activity.
Okay.
So here's an interesting takeaway, Joe, that your listeners or your watchers will be interesting to know. That an entry-level home in Park City starts at about $500,000.
Yeah, it's changed.
Is that crazy?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We've seen a definite climb in the
An
beginning
entry-level
home.
home. So that knocks out people like the nurses and the doctors and the teachers, and that's it knocks out that demographic of our community of living in Park City, unless they find an affordable housing component.
Trust me when I say I know this.
I know.
You
We've
guys
been
know
looking for
because you've
you.
been looking for me
Yeah.
for
Exactly.
a long time, and
Exactly.
we haven't found anything quite yet.
And the farther
that's-
it waits, the more the price edges up.
I know, it's scary.
Yes.
But thankfully there are some programs out there for some of those folks,
Yeah.
and they try to get to many of them. But as you mentioned, this is a challenge at Park City. It always has been.
And-
That the workers here,
And it's
I
getting
say
more
that in the
challenging.
nicest way, the workers are the people who come in from elsewhere,
Right.
and they make that commute, and it's not easy. And they
Right.
should be lauded for those freezing cold, stormy mornings coming up that canyon to come up here and clean a room for crying out loud, or to serve a meal to people. They do. It's quite something they add.
But here's the beauty, that here's where the snowball effect is we're seeing. It's outlying communities like Heber
They're growing.
and Midway. Oh my gosh, they
Yeah.
are really seeing a surge in activity.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
Yeah.
with Midway having no employment base, there's nothing over in Midway for people to go work at. They have
Yeah.
to go someplace else. And the prices in Midway have really increased.
And we've even seen some growth in Peoa and
Yeah.
Camas
Yes.
and
Yes, by far.
Colville.
Francis, all those
Right.
outlying areas.
Well, that's
Only
good
a lot more
news.
to come in those areas in the next decade. Those areas are going to change quite a bit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
to speak of your programs, a lot of those areas offer lending programs for 0 down or 10% down. So there's a lot of ways for people to get into homes in the surrounding areas in the Park City.
Well, thankfully, it's a great thing, and we want to see that. Obviously, we'd love to see something that helps those folks. And I think you're right. The growing size of the community is a big part of it. The outskirts, the outlying areas, is certainly a boon to that growth, which is, like I said, it's a good thing.
So let's not forget one component that goes along with that growth.
Okay.
Traffic.
Yes, and there was a report about this just a couple of days ago in the Park Record that Chelsea brought to our show about the fact that an awful lot of that traffic, we think that, living here, we're like, oh, it's tourists coming to town. No, it's not.
No, it's
Right.
not.
It's us.
It's
Right.
us.
Yeah.
It's us.
Yeah.
And with all the development that's going on right outside the Park City area, they're all funneling into Park City. I mean, there's huge density that's going to be impacting Park City. So be prepared to pack a snack.
Yeah, or use that transit that's
Or use
available.
that
Yeah.
transit. We have
That's
great
something that we
transit,
gotta
great
remember.
free transit in town. So
Well, I guess the next big question is what if you're thinking about putting your home on the market, if you're looking at buying a home in Park City, and you obviously want to bring a realtor into it, which you should. What is the process right now? What's the time frame? What should people be looking to do right now?
well, it used to be where we would see that right about now people would be taking their primary homes off the market.
Right.
But not so much anymore. We're now becoming a 365-day or year kind of
Season. There's no seasonality, yeah.
There's no seasonality. So condos, second homes are selling in the summer, and single-family homes are selling in the winter. So
This is why you have to have a professional
Yeah.
right now, because things are so dynamic.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Little doubt there.
absolutely.
Well, as always, we know that one great place to go for that is the Lee Hartley team right here. And if people want to get in touch with you, where do they go?
Go for it, Jim.
And they go to, you can dial us up there at 435-647-8009.
All right, we're putting the website up on the screen for you as well.
Great.
Thank you.
Great.
Guys, as always, appreciate you being here. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Oh,
things are dynamic around
Things
here.
are changing. One thing you can count on is change, Joe.
Well, exactly, and that's why having somebody with their ear to the ground
Thank you.
That's
right
right.
here.
That's right.
So key to all
All
that, guys.
right.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, thanks.
We'll be back
All
with
right.
more right here
right.
on the Mountain Morning Show. It's coming up right after this quick break.
Thanks, Joe.